This is from ESPN.com. Mel Kiper, Field Yates did a 3-round mock draft, and they kind of alternated picks. So pick 54, Field Yates had the Browns selecting Troy Franklin, wide receiver from Oregon. Browns traded for Jerry Jeudy, but they still feel one receiver short on offense, especially since Mari Cooper is entering the final year of his deal. Franklin is a speedy big play waiting to happen. 85, Mel Kiper picked Trey Benson, running back from Florida State. Nick Chubb should be back from his serious knee injury in 2024. Browns could use a young back to push him. Benson is speedy and shifty, like his ability to hit a hole and find a lane. I'd be surprised if Trey Benson's around that late, but that pick I love. Just your thoughts on those two and if they fit with what the Browns need.
Now with Franklin, I'm just not as high on the Troy Franklin bandwagon as everybody else. Look, the Browns have tried to go for these type of guys, and look, Troy Franklin had probably a little, more established college career, than some of the receivers the Browns have brought in the last couple of years. But they had the wide receiver that we dealt with last year with the health concern in the beginning of the season and the concussion. These wide receivers are a little light in the can, and they seem to be like vertical, just threats only. The Browns continue to try to do this. These guys just don't never necessarily, find a way, to work out within their system. And obviously, I'm talking about Marquise Goodwin here. It just doesn't seem to correlate with what the Browns want to do. When the Browns did start going vertical, you saw Mari Cooper getting involved, and you saw Elijah Morris getting involved. So I think they need to start, looking for guys that can do a little bit more. And you'll find a way to get deep within the offense. You don't need to necessarily come here. Plus, Oregon offense just kind of scares me in general as far as developing wide receivers. I see Troy Franklin highlights, and I see a lot of Troy Franklin standing all alone by himself. And there are some times where there are some drops. Trey Benson, and we'll be taking, I don't know if we call them, top 30s anymore, or we're just calling them 30s now because maybe we're saving caricatures on X. But Trey Benson, I absolutely love. He was faster than I thought. I did not think he was going to be a guy that broke 4.4. I love the fact that Trey Benson finishes runs late in games. He is a guy that moves the stick. A 3-yard run all of a sudden becomes 4. A 4 becomes 5. He's got power, and he keeps strong throughout the game. He would be coming here to a situation. Look, Florida State during the regular season last year was really, really good. Trey Benson never had to handle a significant heavy workload. This is a crowded backfield. However it works out, when Nick Chubb does come back, it doesn't mean Nick's just all of a sudden going to be the belle of the ball and he's going to get every touch. All these backs are going to get some use. So I really, really like it. As much as we talk about trying to build the room for 24, and yes, Nick is going to be here, I think the Browns would also like to have some sort of maybe long-term option, going, for a couple of years. That's why I think they have probably some heavy interest in this running back market. There may be only a couple they like. I'm assuming Trey Benson certainly would be one, but that would be a guy. And hey, if you work things out, Nick is good, and you get another 1 year, 2 years of Nick in Cleveland, that's fine. But you're going to be foolish to think that you're just going to go back to giving the ball to Nick Chubb 250, 270 times a year. How much stress has been put on that knee is certainly, there's just no denying it. It's certainly well documented how much he's been through. But you tell me we're in the Trey Benson business, and yeah, I would be all over that.
Yeah, I agree. And if he's there in the that late in the draft,
I will say this though. I know there were some people talking about it. And, I've seen some people put out mock drafts, and I actually saw Dane Brugler say, "Don't be surprised. If it was closer to 85 than it was maybe somewhere between, round 2." So I've heard that from a bunch of people. I think the running back market, the key is going to be is who starts it. With everything with a run. Who's the first one to pull the trigger? Because then all of a sudden everybody else says, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, we all thought this was going to start maybe 15 picks later, 20 picks later. But now all of a sudden we only like 3 of these guys or 4 of these guys, and there goes one of them. So we got to jump in quick if we want to get our guy.